It was my wedding day today, a day that should technically be the best day of my life, but it was actually the worst. I was marrying a person whom I was the least interested in, that rude, arrogant bastard Paras Sindhania. How did I end up like this? Well, let's go to the flashback. It had been just a month since Maya and Akshay's breakup. We were so in love, but we had to break up because his parents apparently blackmailed him into marrying a girl whom he did not even know. His parents knew that he was dating me. They knew all along. They even asked him to break up with me, but he didn't agree. In the end, he had to cave because he didn't want to lose the company, and I supported his decision. I was heartbroken at first, but I probably needed someone for whom I myself would be ready to sacrifice my company, my life, my everything, and he would be willing to do the same. Now that I was single, my parents thought it was the perfect opportunity to drop this bomb called marriage with Paras Sindhania on me. That day when I came home after work, my mom greeted me with an extra excited smile, which was really strange because she never even actually spared me a glance when I came home from work. "Nishtha, you're getting married, dear," my dad said as I entered the living room. Wow, the first thought anyone would have after listening to such a sentence would be that it must be 1st April. But it wasn't. "No, I'm not," I said, still thinking that he was joking. "Yes, you are, Nishu," my mom said. "Nishu?" Wow, this sweetness was beyond my tolerance. "Excuse me, guys, what are you even talking about?" I said. "Your grandfather's last wish was that you should marry the heir of Singhania and Co. Paras Singhania, as your grandfather and his grandfather were best friends," my dad said excitedly. "What on the earth, Papa? I don't want to marry right now," I said furiously. "Nishu, we've taught you better than this. You are really lucky that you are going to marry such a handsome and rich guy who belongs to such a reputed family," my mom shouted. "His family might be reputed, but he has got a really bad reputation," I said sarcastically. "Yup, his reputation was really bad. Dating a new girl every day. Yeah, that's an exaggeration. But every month is also too much. Nishu, media fakes all of that and you know it very well. He is a really nice guy and his family is very nice. I have met them in person." My dad tried to reason with me. Nice guy? Had he ever even met him? Well, I hadn't met him ever either. "Dad, I don't want to marry anyone right now, that's it," I said. "How could they just fix my marriage with someone without even taking my consent?" "Okay then, if you don't want to marry him, then our company will be theirs after I retire," my dad sighed and said. "What?" I asked. I was shocked was an understatement for what I was feeling. "Yes. Your grandfather wrote in his will that this company can be handed over to you or Nikhil only when you marry one of Sir Sindhania's grandchildren, or else our company will be handed over to the Sindhanias. As your grandfather has passed away recently, the company will be directly given to you. But only when you marry Sir Sindhania's grandson." How cruel of him. "And what if he refuses to marry me?" I asked. "Then, honoring the promise Sir Sindhania made to your late grandfather, he will hand over their company to us. Oh, so both of us are in hot water. Nishu, trust us, dear. He is a really nice guy. Just get over Akshay now," my mom said, adding to my anger, but I tried my best to stay calm. What did she mean by get over Akshay? I wasn't a roadside Romeo, okay Juliet, who would write him letters even after knowing that he was married. I was pissed about the violation of my right to marry whosoever I wanted to. "Why aren't you telling Nikhil Bhai to marry that uncle's granddaughter?" I know I was being selfish, but what else could have I asked? Yeah, I have a brother. He has no interest in management, therefore he pursued his dream of travel blogging and his books are famous worldwide now. Because Sir Singhania's only granddaughter is much older than Nikhil and she is married now and has 2 children. Plus Nikhil has no interest in the company. My father said, "Okay, I'll think about it," I said after a pause. I thought about it. Just to mention, I wasn't given much time to think. Still, I wanted my company at any cost. And what was the worst that could happen? Therefore, I agreed to marry him. Flashback end. So here I was, sitting in front of the mirror, getting my makeup done by one of the top makeup artists of Mumbai. The wedding was too extravagant for my liking, but I couldn't do anything about it. I and Akshay always wanted a simple court wedding, no fuss, no drama, no media, just us two and our families and a few friends. But there was no use of thinking about it now. My lehenga was too beautiful and heavy at the same time, which I didn't like. Actually, I didn't like anything about my own wedding, because I didn't want to. The day my parents told me about the contract and left me with no choice but to marry that fucktard, I began to question their love for me. I couldn't even imagine my life with Paras. But I had nothing to worry about because I was a karate black belt. I smirked just at the thought of beating him to such an extent that he would faint. How evil of me. Just to clarify, I wouldn't actually do that. I'm against physical violence until and unless it's for self-defense. My brother came inside the room along with my father, who had tears in his eyes, and my mother. I said some words of consolation to my father because that was the only thing I could do, as I was really pissed at him. My mother wasn't shedding a single tear, probably because she didn't love me anyways. Then they left the room after hugging me as they had to attend the guests. "Hey," my brother said. "Hi, so you finally have time for your sister, because the last time I called you, you said that you were busy. You were in Bali, I guess. And after that you got so busy in the preparations of my wedding that you didn't even spare me a look," I said, trying my best to keep my composure. "Look, I'm sorry, okay, and I was in Greece at that time," my brother said, and I glared at him. "Look, it's gonna be fine, okay?" my brother said, trying to calm me down. "No bhai, it's not going to be fine because it has never been fine till now," I said. My eyes were welling up because who would want to be stuck in a loveless marriage for probably the rest of their lives? But I didn't cry because I never cried in public. "Didi, let's go. Everyone is waiting outside," my cousin came in the room and said. And that was it, the beginning of what I thought would be the worst phase of my life. My brother and cousins walked me to the stage for the Jaimala ceremony. There he was, Paras Singhania, standing on the stage with all his mighty glory. I have to admit that he was looking no less than a Greek god in his sherwani and that fake but beautiful smile plastered on his irresistibly handsome face. The second he saw me, he eyed me from head to toe, which made me feel really self-conscious, but then I also eyed him from head to toe, which made him roll his eyes. My brother helped me get on the stage, and that bastard didn't even offer to help. What a rude idiot. My brother handed my hand in his and said, "Take care of her." And he said, "I will," in his amazing voice which could make any girl go weak at her knees but not me. "I will." Wow. It was a lie. I knew it. The beginning of our marriage was with a lie. He looked at me and gave me a devilish smirk and squeezed my hand really tightly. I gave him the fakest smile possible and scratched his palm with my nails. Immediately, his smirk was replaced by a horrified expression, and then he was back to that angry young man face. God! Why was I even noticing his actions so much? "Paras Singhania, you might be a firecracker, but I'm an atom bomb." Try to mess with me and I'll make you regret your existence. Hey guys, this is the first chapter. This is my first book which is not a fan fiction. I hope you like it. Please subscribe my channel for next chapter. Otherwise you missed it.